line here, Josh Cox, as the women will race here over 3,000 meters. Probably the favorite in the field, Mercy Chirono of Kenya, the 31-year-old World Championship silver medalist back in 2013 in Moscow. And Billings will be the pace setter here, Sarah Billings of Australia. But no one seems to want to be within even a few strides of her early on. Also noting in this field, hip number 10 is Sion Abebe of Ethiopia. She is 15 years old racing in a Diamond League.
Very impressive.
What were you doing at 15, Josh Cox?
I was just about to say, I think I was about to get my learner's permit to drive and was kicking a soccer ball around a field and running track. Definitely not on the Diamond League circuit, though. Paul, you mentioned Mercy Chirono of Kenya, the silver medalist back in 13, as you noted. This year, she has a 5-kilometer road result, 14:56, so obviously very fit. 15:15 around the oval in Nairobi for 5,000.
Gloria Kaite of Kenya sitting there in second, just ahead of Chirono.
And Paul, she ran 15:02 in France for 5,000. Looks comfortable there.
15-year-old Abebe in the mix there, back in 5th position as they carry them through that last full lap, 70:09. So they settle in on the pace. We'll settle in for the race, and we'll be back for its conclusion right after this. Back in Rabat as we pick up this women's 3,000 meters now with 4 laps to go. Pace a little bit quicker than when we left you, under 70 seconds on that last lap. Really no change to the front of the order, with Billings still the pace setter, Kaite, and then Chirono. And then it's back to Medina Asa of Ethiopia, who's 17 years old. We have a 15-year-old in the race in Abebe, who's also still in the mix, Josh.
And Isa, very fit as well. 14:53 for 5,000 on the roads this year. The teenagers, Paul, representing here in Rabat.
So Billings Day as the pace setter is done. Kaite is going back to Chirono and saying, I really don't want to lead this race right now, so steps to the outside and going to afford Chirono the opportunity to take the lead.
Yeah, there's something that goes on when you're running in front and you know that they're just sitting on you, and you're thinking, I don't want to be this sitting duck doing all the work up front. Pacemaker drops off, and that's always the big question in these distance races. When the pacemaker goes to the outside lanes, what happens to the field? Is somebody going to take the reins and push the pace, or are they just going to run it like a championship-style event?
Up into 4th now, ahead of the 15-year-old Abebe. That is Amy Eloise Marcotes of Great Britain, 26-year-old. Ran collegiately at the University of Washington, made the Olympic team for Great Britain last year, and definitely in the mix here. You know, a lot of folks here who have dipped their toe in the waters of Diamond Leagues against maybe much deeper fields, and someone like Marcotes could come out of this with a big victory with just a couple of laps to run.
Yeah, Marcotes has championship experience. European indoor champion in 3,021, national indoor 3,000 meter champion this year. She likes this 3,000 meter distance, a distance that's not often contested without the barriers and water jumps, but it is here today.
So Marcotes back there in 4th position. Kaite is the leader once again. Chirono lurking in 2nd now with 2 laps to go as they backed off a little bit. 70.6 on that last lap.
Kaite on the rail up front. Chirono content to stay behind. Chirono looks really comfortable.
Asa in third, trying to hold off Marcoats, who's challenging on the outside. Now here comes Koster of the Netherlands, the 29-year-old, has a World Indoor Championship final appearance under her belt. That was when the event was held in the U.S. in Portland back in 2016. Marcoats now slides into third and perhaps will challenge Chirono here as they come down the main straightaway for the penultimate time. They'll have one lap to run when they reach the finish line.
Marcoats looks good. You see her measuring the field on the outside of lane 1, moving into the inside of lane 2. Chirono, though, has looked good throughout. The question is, right now, she's a little boxed with Marcoats going up on the outside and now challenging for the lead, Paul.
And look at the back of this group of 6 women. That's the 15-year-old Abebe of Ethiopia trying to stay in the mix as they head down the backstretch, and a new leader in Marcoats. Chirono now trying to respond and challenging for second.
Marcoats, gutsy move on the backstretch. I think this is her path to victory if she's going to get one. It's going to be a long drive to the finish, and she's stretching it out. But Chirono looks very good and poised.
Marcoats maybe looking up at the scoreboard to gauge where the rest of the field is and realizes that she's got some work to do to hold off Chirono here into the final stretches of the race. Chirono now with a surge and moves ahead of Marcoats. Can she hold her off in the final 20 meters? Marcoats making a last gasp try to the finish line. Chirono celebrates perhaps a stride early, but gets the torso across the line first, and that's what matters most. A blistering last lap compared to what we saw earlier in this race, 61.97, as Chirono enters the race the favorite and leaves the race the winner.
Paul, you talk about turning the screws. 72-second lap, 70-second lap, 68-second lap, and then 61.97 on that final circuit. Chirono with the lean at the line to get the dub.
Lifetime best for Koster in 5th. Lifetime best for Marcoats, 8:40.32 in